Hi. Making sure this is up. I'm going to be doing a reading here, looking at Putin's next 6 to 8 months with the same deck that I used in reading for Trump's reading, which is the Viator Somniorium. And this is made by Stephanie, I'm sorry, Aaliyah. All right. So I'll include a link in the description box to her Etsy. Okay, without further ado, it's you. Um, I'm in the Bay Area and it is warm here today. Got to put on my Magoo glasses. That's what my husband calls them. You better get used to it because I, they're very comfortable. All right. So let's thinking on Putin and his next 6 to 8 months, asking my spiritual mentors, source, to help me read accurately and clearly on Putin's next 6 to 8 months, what we can expect within that time frame for him. What do we need to know? How does his health look? How do things look like to be for him and within 6 to 8 months? All right. See what we get. We get the card of the gift and Dark Night of the Soul. Well, he's given the gift of the Dark Night of the Soul. He may not think it's really a gift of maybe staggering, numbing depression, but it is maybe the last chance for someone like him to change things for themselves spiritually, you know? He gets the gift, though, of the Dark Night of the Soul. Let's see what else comes with that. The proximity always matters. Synchronicity, certain things coming together that we see repeating themselves, um, certain signs, and prophecy. Ooh. Well, this is really a significant issue. There is saying that this is, it's important to let you all know again that there will be synchronicities um, regarding this time. Let's see, with prophecy in particularly, there's a part of it that I'm not remembering, but so I'm just kind of reacquainting myself with this deck. Something beyond our understanding is happening, and it's time to trust in the universe. So don't be afraid. I think it's kind of weird, but it not, that both he and Trump are getting similar cards. There's something prophesied here that's happening, and that is meant to happen. And we are all playing our roles accordingly. This card indicates being on one's own path and that higher forces are at work here. An event or role is being played out in order to allow the progression of future outcomes. If you dream of something prophetic that feels like a big dream or that is emotionally charged, pay attention to that dream because it may provide clues to future events that you will soon experience. I feel like we're all getting those signs already. Many of us are having dreams, taking note in our readings, such as I have for at least Trump. Um, there's something here with the Noche Escura with the gift too. Is this going to be them also him having a bit of heartburn, shall we say, over looking at things that gifts, things that have been said that were gifts that he's been given? Uh, are they going to be scrutinizing those things? Just a feeling. I just want to add that in there, as well as a dark night of the soul being a gift to clean up your energy soul wise. Putin gets that. There is counsel and animal spirits. People are going to be straight up guided. Um, really, and it's not him. The counsel is like paying attention to, you know, people that are like shamans, things like that. And I have a feeling like he's going to be doing that. He's going to be looking to them for some answers because I think he's not going to be able to escape this dark night of the soul. This is a something he can't just shake off. Um, once again, and it's just something that's meant to be, something that has been set up on the other side, you know? And there's the council of guides and people counsel, looking to source through their own wisdom as well. Not always seeking the people that are real flash in the pan and that kind of thing. With 47, you know, you are ready to give or receive counsel, and you can receive counsel from healers, therapists, trusted loved ones, or through ceremony. This means to reach out to healers and the divine and ask for guidance to help you continue to walk on your true path. And if you're going through a difficult period, it's time to reach out to someone who is wise that you resonate with, who can help you process the issue. And there's the aspect of the shamanic here really strong within the animal spirits card that comes with that, the council. So I think he's going to be looking to the non, you know, hospital type doctors, in essence, traditional uh, shamans, because I think he's going to feel like this gift does not feel like a gift. Let me just take a look at that. So worth looking this up. So just the very last line that is in the write-up of the paragraph for the gift struck me very, very strongly with the gift of the night, dark night of the soul. The gift is being presented to you. Take careful note. What is it made of? How was it given? How is it used? What can it affect? Well, it can affect how you feel. It's meant to give him a conscience to feel something than to be so numb and unfeeling. Only for him, it's going to be overwhelming. And it's saying, however you use your gift, you must first accept it and then understand how to use it. And of course, one day you must return it. So it's saying, like Arthur's sword Excalibur or Perseus' mirrored shield, gifts are powerful totems granted us by the divine to focus energy and power. However, to use your gift, you must first accept it and then understand how to use it. And then, of course, one day you must return it. The gift he's had of leadership all this time is not lost on me. And it has been more or less a gift because he's taken it. And people have given him that as well. But there's something here now he will have, and that is the heartache of releasing and relinquishing, I think, his own strength, his own power, office. And I do believe that there's a synchronicity between he and Trump. I've always said that. And the card of synchronicity and prophecy, these two are prophetically, I think, linked. And Trump also had the Noche Oscura, because I was talking about how the heart, and I feel like he probably has heart disease. One of them could be congestive heart failure, you know, but it's probably more than just one thing. It's also a gift to the world that we get some relief from someone that's caused so much dark night of the soul upon the world. The two of them. All right. Robbery. There's scrutiny. I think there's also inside from within certain efforts, and we get lucid. It's very clear, and people are very clear, very hyper vigilant, I feel like, from within. There's people that are waiting for him to have a vulnerability. And they're very clear about how they will react or what they plan to do. I think he will also be aware that he is having power taken from him because he's been like a thief. He's been like a mob boss. The robbery card. We get other worlds. This is talking about other dimensions outside of the earthly realm that exist. There's numerous ones, okay? And they can be alien, they can be parallel to human life worlds, from what I was reading about the card. And we get the card of illusion. Ooh. That's interesting. You have the difference in the reflection of the light hair and the dark hair here. Let me just take a look at that for a second. So facing the false image, this would be so important for that to happen because of the use of misinformation, how Putin and Trump butter themselves up to be these great, tough guys, and they're not in good health. They're over middle age, men that frankly don't take very good care of themselves. Putin may have started to, but his just natural thing of age, you cannot, part of being on this planet is you will age. You can get as many facelifts and injections and what have you all you want, but you're still going to age. This is a temporary place. You shouldn't want to stay here. you know, it's a place that's like a roll up your sleeves and workplace, not a place that you would like, oh, I'll just stay here. Yeah. There are better realms. This has its place. Anyway, so he's going to be working in other realms on his issues of false image, the public and versus the private, the image that he blew up as this dictator versus the personal private him that is terrified and afraid of everything. And he can't go with the flow because he's so terrified he won't make it in uh, by being himself. So having to face who he truly is and a call to personal integrity rather than obedience to the perceived or programmed ideal. Getting a dose of reality, basically. I do think a dose of reality is coming to him. And I do think it looks like people are talking, they're conferring with each other, taking counsel, and I get the source. They're being divinely led, and I get flying. It could be something, to do with drone strikes or aerial types of strikes that are divinely allowed or led. And it would be very quick with this card. Something aerial. And I see excitement. Like someone thinks they're reaching their just in grasp. And it's paired with destruction. Yeah. So that's definitely a nod, big nod about the war that he's waged upon Ukraine. And he's going to think that he's within, I think, reach of obtaining some kind of destruction that he wants. But I think he's going to see it slip with the destruction card because I feel like this is saying, oh, it's almost in grasp. You've almost got it. But boom, you're destroyed with that choice, or it's not going to work out for you. And we get fear. The fears inside that you can see, these are the fears manifesting as things that can make you ill. And when you're asleep, things that can affect your health and your mind. Imbalance. It's going to show that he's really out of balance mentally. Or he's going to lose mental balance if he does not get a certain kind of destruction that he's excited about there with 38. Let me just take a look at that card really quickly. Again, I'm reacquainting myself with this deck. So, have you ever had a dream where you work so hard to get what you want, but just as you reach for your reward or to move on to the next stage, you wake up? You never get to know where that train, you never get to know where that train that took forever to get on led to, or what happened when you opened that strange door that took most of the night to unlock. You wake up wanting more. Sometimes when we are overeager, and he is overeager for destruction, here is what it's saying. We accidentally push our dreams and goals further away from us. Be patient. What is meant to be will come. If you force the situation, what you desire may elude you and always remain just slightly out of your grasp. Start trusting yourself in the universe. Well, that's not going to happen because he's imbalanced and he's not choosing well or mindfully. There's destruction. Just as he thinks he's going to get something, he gets there's self-destruction, in my opinion. And we have fear and imbalance. That he's in a state of fear and imbalance. I think he could lose his grip on reality, to say the very least. Because I keep getting like odd behavior or behavior that other people are going to be looking at and going, oh, we've got to act. One of the telltale signs will be this thirst for destruction and something really, really bad that he thinks he's going to just have in his grasp, and it's not going to work, thank goodness. But he pulls his own, that destruction to himself, is what I get. And the fear is imbalanced that he has. It's extreme. And he draws that darkness to himself. And I get dream lover. And it's kind of a mask and wasteland. That just isn't good. I feel like there's issues there, to say the very least. Okay, now this is super interesting. He has used this imbalance of fear all these years to keep the people in Russia in line. This extreme hostility, this dictatorship. And then what we get here with the Dream Lover and Wasteland card is a healing going on of, I feel like, the toxicity, not only that he has caused upon the land, but also within the people as well. Because it's about learning about self-love and healing through a ripening of personal energy. It can also mean that, anyway, it's healing, personal energy. And it's out of empathy and being fed up with the darkness and the fear, especially the fear. And it's showing us that the time is going to be right within this time window for that to begin. Something opening up there with self-love. And it can be the wasteland, which is also a very interesting card here. All right. Is an area of the mind, heart, or soul that has become stagnant and lifeless. It can be a place of neglect, trauma, ignorance, as in the Arthurian myths. When the ruler of the realm is sick, the land too becomes sick and the people suffer. You are being asked to engage and create motion and energy in order to release the stagnation and bring new life, or else abandon a part of your life that is causing the stagnation. People wanting him to step down. Abstract and vigilance. To me, this is the surveillance state. This is the abstract. I think so much has been put on that's also outside of the box of always being watchful and not feeling like you can relax or trust. And that certainly is something that with dictatorships that they try to do, is get people not to trust each other, turn people against each other, make people report to the state, turn their neighbors in, and this kind of thing. So they certainly don't want any free thinkers out there. Give it time and stuck. He's not getting out from the mire of his own destruction. It will take the amount of time that it's going to take, but it's on its course. I'm getting cards that speak. This will be, when you see this going on, where he's getting all excited about destruction and certain attacks or whatever, certain weapons, you're going to know that it's not going to go to plan, and that's going to be crushing to him. And he's going to slide down from that. He's going to get a chance to look within through that depression, but that's not what's going to happen. People are, I think, going to take action. Yeah, impromptu, very quickly. They're going to read the signs. They're going to know what's going on. And sometimes you've got to seize the day with the impromptu and trust by looking within to guide you, your inner guidance, your instinct, people doing that. We get work and dancing. I think people will stop from whatever labors they're under and get out, and you'll see them celebrate. Somewhat similar to Trump. Innocence, that's interesting. And the maze, this is like children, something about children and confusion, or being, I think children also, Ukrainian children being found again that have been through like a maze. The maze is usually a kind of something where you lose track of something for a while, and it can kind of, you get a chance to come back to it. So innocence usually is dealing with children, vulnerable people, and I'm feeling like with this, it's Ukraine children. And movement, maybe they will be found and brought back. And health. Chasing. This is wanting to go after your goals. Death. His dreams. He will never achieve what he's seeking to win this war that he created. That will remain elusive. His health is going to change as well. So with death and chasing, I think that he's going to be on the path within the next 6 to 8 months to the ending, if not sooner. But I think that window is coming through here. Recurring dream and world of dreams. I think a lot of other people around the world will be saying that they're having these recurring dreams about him and his time. Again, and we did get the cards of prophecy right from the get-go. So, and he's gotten death, and there's shame and the taking of someone's life. He is thought and remembered as a killer going into Ukraine for no good reason. There's also laughter and new hope, people laughing, and I think mocking him, being able to breathe and make fun of him for the first time. And I see that as a great thing for the Russian people. Of course, there'll be ones that don't want that, but he's never going to be able to come back, and it's not going back. It's shown us that with the cards of prophecy, it's time for the people and the land to be healed. And you're not going to get that with him. So his time is ending out. And the good folk that do actually exist in Russia that aren't on board with invading the Ukraine and calling it a war, getting involved in misinformation in other countries, America, and messing up things to try and have global control. Putin's never going to get it, and neither is Trump. Both of them will destroy themselves. If you appreciate readings like this, please do give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next reading. Or live. Sunday at 3.